All right, so for the first review of the channel, we figured we would do Cats. Because naturally, I mean, it's Cats.
It's a cinematic masterpiece.
Yeah. And I grew up with the 98 version on VHS. I still have it. It's something I cherish to this day.
I've never seen Cats. I like musicals. He doesn't like musicals. This is the best part of this.
And this is the same theater that someone got shot and killed at like 2 weeks ago. So, I came prepared. We have a cat puppet.
I fucking hate you.
Its name is Dr. Meows. So let's head on in. The way I see it, how bad could this really be? It has like a 20%. IMDb, it had like a 2.7, which is positive.
You know, no matter what we witness, I don't think anything could be as bad as you pulling that damn puppet out and putting it on. That is the epitome of just we're our night. Nothing could get worse than that.
Okay, so let's head on in. Cats.
A spectacle.
It was a spectacle. So, we just got out of seeing Cats. And, like I said, I'm a fan of the 1998 VHS release. And it had been a while since I'd seen that. And this film reminded me of the 1998 VHS release if you put it through a wood chipper. And then everything that comes out, you just collect it. And there it is.
It's clearly the greatest movie ever made. Tom Hooper was phenomenal as a director. Flawless film.
So what bullet point should we cover first? Let's go over the CGI. Before we get to that, though, I have to tell a story. I read yesterday that the copies of the film that were sent to the theaters for opening night, obviously you had those. The studio sent out new copies with improved special effects.
Oh my god.
They actually sent new copies out. When has that ever happened?
I don't know.
And I don't know which version we saw. I hope it's the original. I hope this isn't the improved one.
Well, here's the thing. I saw in a review that you would see certain members of the cast, their feet would just be off the ground, just 6 feet off the ground. Wouldn't supposed to be. They're just walking, or they're not in mid motion. They're just standing, and their feet are supposed to be in the ground. And I didn't see that.
No, I was looking for it.
Same. So yeah. I think we did see the improved version, which is just awesome.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. What's your opinions on the design of the actors and actresses?
I mean, I think it's very... I feel like disturbing is almost a good way to put it. I mean, I made a point this morning, which is, how many kids are going to grow up and stuff who went to see this film with their parents and are going to grow up to become furries now? Are they going to be scarred by this? And they're just going to be like, I want to fuck the cat. Am I wrong?
I mean, I don't know. It just felt awkward when you're looking at them. I mean, I thought the design of the original, The Cat's Play, perfect. Have you seen at least the designs of the original?
Yeah, I know the original designs because I remember my sister. See, I've never seen Cats. This was my first experience, so I had no expectations going into this, which I think probably made it a little bit better for me. But I know what the original design was just because my sister was really big into musicals growing up, and where she had the VHS copy.
And, I mean, I don't know, I think one thing I do have to compliment was the choreography. I thought the choreography was fine.
Yeah, I thought the choreography was really good. I mean, I think a lot of the actual technical things, like the singing, the dancing, the choreography of everything, that wasn't a problem. I mean, I thought a lot of performances were actually very good for the actors and actresses.
And, even the dubbing sounded good.
Yeah, I think a lot of the problem was the story itself, and then B, just the the effects of it, which I hate to say.
It's hard to comment on the story because a lot of people complain about no character development and no plot. Here's my rebuttal to that. This is kind of me defending this film. There is character development in there. It's in the songs. Because the whole film's basically one giant musical with a little dialogue here and there in between.
Yeah.
And I think that actually works for what the film is. You know, you have, I think, a really good amount of character development if you're actually listening to the lyrics.
Well, let me just cut in with this and stuff. I don't think that the character development's bad. I think I think it's actually really good, especially when you listen to the lyrics. My problem is there are certain characters who get left in the dust, kind of. Like, you get one little tidbit or scene with them, and yes, the song gives them development, but you never hear from them again. And I think that's a mistake. And I don't know if that's just, there's not enough time. I don't know. I haven't seen the musical, so I can't, comment on how that differs and stuff. But I feel like there were certain characters who were just left out. Taylor Swift's character, for example, I felt, you have, one big moment. It's a critical moment in the film, and then suddenly, nothing. Idris Elba's character, who I actually think is one of the better developed characters in the film. I mean, I think, he could have really, been a much stronger character and a much stronger villain had we just gotten a little bit more. Because I feel we were teased throughout the film, but it never really catalyzed for me in a sense.
Catalyzed? This was 110-minute runtime. The play is significantly longer. Even the VHS release was a few minutes longer. So I feel like they just kind of cut it down just for pacing reasons and probably budget.
Yeah, I mean, it had around I think a $95 million budget.
Yeah, that was
so,
the
I mean,
budget.
You're already running off a relatively high budget and stuff, especially for what you're getting, the quality type of film it's going to be. That's probably pretty accurate. I mean, anything over a 2-hour runtime, I feel like a lot of, at least your casual viewers, I feel like they don't want to see a movie over 2 hours. I mean, you have your exceptions like Endgame, which was, 3 hours roughly?
Yeah.
And stuff, which, I mean, your casual viewer will go see. But, again, that's something that's a little bit different. I think that's something that's set up more than a film like Cats. So, I mean, I do definitely agree with that. I think that, you had to make cuts here or there just to get that message across, I guess.
And pacing, for the most part, was good.
Yeah, I don't have a problem with pacing. Again, I don't think this film is as bad as some people make it out to be. It's just the certain aspects that are bad are just that much awful, that much worse. They break the whole film down.
I'm going to tell a story. In the theater, there was a point where I had been looking at these badly CGI'd characters. I had been sitting through this. I just kind of broke at one point, and I just started laughing hysterically. Not because of the film itself, it's more just what I was looking at. I just broke and started laughing hysterically, which I don't do because I take movie theater experiences very seriously.
I also want to comment on this because we were in the theater with some people, other people. There was only it was us and I think 3 other groups of people, and it was so maybe 12 people total in the theater. And the people next to us were making just the weirdest noises I've ever heard from a theater. And because of that, and when he freaking broke, I fucking lost it. And I was just trying to keep my composure. And it did not happen.
Another point I think would be the case for a lot of people. You have these actors in these, for the most part, badly CGI'd costumes. And they're making these feline movements, and they're acting like cats. And I feel like that doesn't translate well in CGI.
No, I'd agree with that.
Because they're, I don't know, it's just, I just felt like it didn't correlate with each other. It didn't complement, the CGI didn't complement the actors.
No, I this is actually one of those films which I question whether or not you should have actually done a live action version if you're going to make it a film. I actually wonder if animated would have been the better way to go. Just because you could have gotten so much more emotion on it and stuff without, the weird I guess, visual that we did get. That's nothing, to say. I don't have no problem with animated films. I think animated films are, just another way to tell an art form. But I think this would have been something that would have been a better way for it to go.
Well, some things translate better in animation. Some things translate better in comic books. Every medium has its strong points.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
And I feel like Cats was not a strong point live action CGI. The set pieces, for the most part, looked practical.
Yeah, they did, actually.
Which I compliment that. You could tell very easily when it wasn't practical.
Yep.
And I don't know, it's just tone-wise, I felt like there were points where it wanted it to be taken seriously, and then other points, like the mice.
Oh god, the mice were awful.
The mice.
And the cockroaches.
The cockroaches, who were just marching by as the friends are getting eaten.
That was bad.
So, I personally, from a personal standpoint, I'm good. I'll never watch this again. If I'm gonna watch Cats, I'm gonna watch the play, the live action VHS tape. I'm actually surprised it bombed as much as it did in the box office.
Yeah, I thought it was going to do a little bit better. I mean, you are going against Star Wars this weekend, which is going to obviously be the big film, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Which is going to definitely take money away, because most people don't normally go see multiple movies in a weekend or the same day. We're probably part of the few exceptions who do that, at least consistently. But I mean, that's probably a big part of it. I also think this was one of those films that just was coming right out the gate. I mean, when the first trailer dropped, people were just so taken aback and disturbed by the CGI and the visuals that I think they just kind of were like, nope, avoiding that one at all costs.
Yeah, we saw it for more of the intrigue.
Yeah, I thought it looked awful, and I was just like, we gotta see this fucking movie.
Yeah. So, rating-wise, I rate from 0 to 5 stars. What's your rating right now?
I think this is probably going to be a lot higher than most people will give it, and I think it's definitely higher than what you're going to have. I'm going to give it a 2, though. I think that, a 2 out of 5 is about roughly a 40%. I think it deserves it. I think that, the choreography, for the most part, is pretty good. The visuals and stuff, while they are disturbing, there is a sense of, you at least see the effort there that was attempted. You see where they were going. I think that the acting was actually really well. I think, Jennifer Hudson was phenomenal in this film. Although she had a very small part, although her part is probably the most powerful and impactful the entire, the film.
Because they really built her up, and then and then you had a really good moment at the very end.
I have her name. I'm trying to think of, where is it here? Francesca Hayward. She played, I guess, basically our lead. She did really good as well. I thought, she had a lot of, growth, a lot of, emotion in her performance. Ian McKellen actually liked him, although
well,
there was one thing.
He does theater. He's really well known for theater work, so I think he kind of complimented that.
Yeah, he definitely did. I thought Idris Elba did a good job as the villain for the most part. I just wish there was something that basically catalyzed that performance, because I think that could have been a much stronger performance.
And then when he closed the book, and cavity. Come on.
That was the greatest moment of my life.
There were
we lost our shit.
There were so many moments that were just so cheesy and cringy. I just don't understand if they were meant to be taken seriously.
Well, I think that goes along with what I was saying, though. I mean, I think a big reason, again, why I have it that high is because there are bright spots in the film.
Yeah.
It's a bad film, but there are bright spots. But there's a lot more flaws. I mean, some of the things that they happen, it's just like that. Some of those moments are just very cheesy. The humor in the film, which it's just it's kind of like a cheesy humor. It's
better than Disney humor.
Well, I actually think it's kind of on par with Disney humor, to be honest, which bums me out, because I think that's just becoming more prevalent in film. But
there weren't little quips though. When there was humor, it was more character humor.
You're not wrong, but still, it was bad. It was cheesy.
I'm gonna give it a 1.5.
That's actually higher than I thought you'd give it.
The reason I do is because it's not the plot, it's not the development, it's just the visuals that make it cringy, and you have these cringy moments that don't translate to live action. Other than that, the singing's great, the choreography's great. You know, you can tell that there was blood, sweat, and tears put into this film. It's more just the fact that people were paid to digitally animate over these actors. They should get their money back. People were paid for this.
Yep.
But, final thoughts?
I would like to say that Jennifer Hudson's performance of Memory is probably one of the best performances in a musical, song performances in a musical that I've ever seen. I like musicals for the most part. That was really strong. I think that if you're looking to go see a movie in theaters, you just want to have basically a good time. You're not looking to see a good film or a bad film. You don't care what you're really going to see, but you just want to basically do something entertaining for an afternoon. Go see Cats. It's not the worst thing. I mean, you'll have a good time. It's a bad film, but you will have a good time.
It's like The Room. It's a horrible film, but it is a great time.
It's not true. It's bullshit.
I did not hit her.
I did not. Oh, hi, Mark.
Anyway, we hope you enjoyed this review of Cats. Be sure to give your ratings and comments down below. For now, peace out.